Why? So the Kenyan-Somali border is finally going to be reopened on April the 17th, right? And I'm pretty sure right now, in the wilderness of Somalia, there's a band of Al-Shabaab militia firing in the air in celebration due to the fact that this is actually going to be a major win for them, right? We all know why the border was closed. The border was closed in the October of 2011, close to 15 years ago. It was closed because of the repeated attacks by Al-Shabaab, right? The kidnappings and the terrorist attacks, right? We remember Dusit, we remember Westgate, we remember Garissa, we remember Mpeketoni, right? All these were conducted by militants who came from Somalia specifically, right? And now, apparently, the Meru governor, some people have decided that the Meru governor apparently met with, I guess, the Somali ambassador or somebody, right? And they saw it fit that for them to export their Mira, that they need to sacrifice the national security of close to 50 million Kenyans, right? And this goes to show how big of a mess we have in terms of Kenyan leadership, right? And this comes after a very suspicious action, right? When they scrapped off the vetting requirements for the border communities. Now, I'm not saying giving IDs to border communities is wrong, right? But it is important to vet who's coming in and who's claiming to be Kenyan, right? So now they've scrapped off the vetting, and just recently, now they're announcing that they're going to open the border. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I think these two things, they have one thing in common, right? They're definitely related to the 2027 elections. That's what a lot of Kenyans are projecting, right? They're, uh, it seems, right, and it's a conspiracy theory. I don't know if this is true, but it seems like uh, a lot of Kenyans are concerned, right, that some votes are going to come from Somalia, that some votes are being imported intentionally, right, that foreign nationals are being imported from Somalia or other parts of Africa into Kenya so that they can vote. And man, I don't know. This just makes me mad, right? I don't know. I think living in Kenya is like living in a rage bait, continuous rage bait, because our leaders are constantly trying to figure out how they can make us mad, right? Because this is going to jeopardize national security for a very, very long time. But I'll just leave it at that. But this is very, very concerning.
So guys, niko town but ina hata ingengoja hata nifike home. Umeona ati must go anapanga kufungua boda ya Somalia na Kenya April. Imagine. Na sasa hiyo Kibaki alifunga 20. Check it please. Hata kama utupendi, penda maisha yetu basi. Surely. Imagine wataingia na bado watamvutia out. Udhuru ndio hiyo. Udhuru anaingia pia hao na hawakutaki. Hawakutaki hata wanataka wakisema uongo na Ruto must go. Na nimekwambia hawakupei kura yao. Hawakupei hata mimi sikupei yangu. One time. Nairobi. Wacha niweke hii simu kabla niambie nitapostiwa. Bye.
We've got some breaking news. Now, the Kenya-Somali border is going to be reopened in April 2026, this coming April. This is after 15 years of the border between Kenya and Somali being closed. It has been closed for 15 years. President William Ruto said that this was a matter of resolution by the National Security Council, who had agreed that after those many years, then now is the time to reopen the Kenya-Somali border.
The Kenyan-Somali border is finally going to be opened in April this year. I am talking about April 2026. This border has been closed for 15 whole years, majorly because of matters of insecurity. But President Ruto reveals that in an attempt to resolve these issues, the National Security Council has revealed that this border needs to be reopened. That is the border between Kenya and Somalia. This border that has been closed for 15 years is finally going to be open in April this year. This is mind-blowing. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think it is a good idea, or do you think the border still deserved to be closed?
Fungueni borders kabisa. Hata malls mumejenga. Mumewapatia a wider view of their targets. Karibuni sana. Hapa Kenya tunaongozwa na watu wajinga, watu washenzi. Come. Let's share the stupidity they possess. Okay?
Mimi narudi hapa mwezi wa 4 kuja kufungua ile border post ya kuunganisha sisi na Somalia, na tutakuwa na askari wa kutosha kuhakikisha ya kwamba magaidi na wakora wengine hawatahusika. Wafanyabiashara wa Kenya, wa Somalia, tutaendelea na biashara. Wakora tutashughulika na wao. Tunaelewana? Mnasema tufungue hii border ama mnasema tufanye namna gani? Mimi nataka niwaulize wananchi wa hapa Mandera. Nyinyi nawaomba na viongozi wa Mandera, sisi wote tuwe ni watu ambao tutapigana na Al-Shabaab. Hawa Al-Shabaab ni watu bure. Mimi nataka niwaeleze, mimi na nyinyi tutaungana, serikali ya Kenya tutashirikiana, nyinyi mtusaidie tuweze kukabiliana na wahuni na magaidi, ndio Mandera hii iendelee na maendeleo, iendelee na biashara, ndio Mandera ikue na isaidie.
So the Kenyan-Somali border is set to be open. Like inafunguliwa in April. Initially, I thought, yeah, fake news. Like this cannot be real. Ini wongo. But then again, nikaona this BBC News article that actually reported on the same thing, which is true. Apparently, Prezo aliamua. This was, I think, a year ago, or was it 2 years ago? But then again, they had to postpone because there was a terrorist attack. So now the question remains, like, why do it after you've already seen this, like mbona? And then I think some of the reasoning behind it is mostly to do away with black market businesses, how watu wenye wanakuanga wakitransport miraa. So I'm thinking this is somehow good news if you are a miraa businessman, or rather just basically a business that comes in from Somalia to Kenya, or from Kenya to Somalia. But then again, kumbuka, this also gives the government the opportunity to actually collect taxes from both, you know, people like business people in Kenya and business people in Somalia. So does that mean omebahatika? I don't know. I am not, like, I don't do businesses like in Somalia or Kenya, but you guys let me know. Also, there is some sort of, you know, upside when it comes to people who haven't seen their families. It will be easier for them to actually visit their families in Kenya. People will be able to, like, cross the border without any problems. I'm also hearing, like, kutakuwa na, like, military presence there, so hopefully that means there's no, like, fear or whatever, like, you know. Sasa, the negatives is usually the whole Al-Shabaab issue. What happens? Because right now, if the borders are open, like, it'll probably just, as much as tunasema there's military presence, does it really make a difference to someone who is, you know, mtu mwenye ameamua, like, yeah, this is, mimi nimekuja kuua watu? Does it make a difference? I don't know. Like, maybe there's a difference because our military probably is amazing, you know. I don't know. So the other thing is the sale of weapons. Like, itakuwa ni very easy to distribute, and gosh, this is where it really scares me. This is where I'm really scared, which is what happens if, like, there's more guns in Kenya than we already have. Like, what happens then? Itakuwa ni free for, like, people will just be like, I just don't want to become like America, honestly. Like, I just don't want a country kama America yenye watu wanaenda tu kushutiana ndani ya shule. The best thing about Kenya, as much as iko, like, we have guns, but you don't hear it often. Like, watu hawawani wakitumia mabunduki. There's other ways to kill each other. So right now, imagine adding guns into the mix, like black market guns, and you don't know it's zimetoka wapi. So this news really scares me. As you know, as someone who is in Kenya, and as much as I'm a Somali, like, it doesn't mean that this is all happy news is in terms of security, because that's the most important thing. Like, the best thing about Kenya is the fact that we have security here. So what happens? I like to think that I'm a very positive person, so I'm hoping tutakuwa na, you know, like, peace will prevail. Like, Al-Shabaab will eventually be extinct? Is that a possibility? I don't know. But this is scary. This is scary news for me. What do you guys think?